Welcome to the Family of Jays. It's September 12th. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. I am super tired. Y'all know I'm not a morning person, but we are getting prepared to have our consultation with Dr. Escobar. So we're just waiting on him to come online. And hopefully y'all will be able to hear him and hear the whole conversation far as, our next steps and how we can move forward. So that's what we're waiting on, and, hopefully we can get some answers. So we'll see how it goes.
So obviously this sucks, okay? We transferred two beautiful embryos. We did the ERA, and the ERA did not change your protocol at all. We started thinking then more about it, what else could it be? And obviously the elephant in the room is the fibroid.
Yeah.
Right.
And so in light of what's happened, I really feel that you should consider fixing up your uterus and removing them, okay? Now, the downside of removing fibroids is that puts you at basically doing a C-section later on. But frankly, the chances were super high.
Anyway.
They said, you're going to need a C-section. The vast majority of these procedures have a measurable benefit afterwards. And so I know that mammectomies can be done obviously open, but also can be done laparoscopically. I just don't know. I used to do mammectomies up to like 2 or 3 years ago. And I'm too old. I think I'm over 50 years older than me. That I didn't get the training to do it robotically. Also, Dr. O'Neill in his practice does a lot of robotic surgery. But not all fibroids are great for robotic surgery.
Right.
And when you do robotics, you have small incisions, but you have multiple incisions. So it leaves several little scars. And when you do an abdominal mammectomy, you do one incision, but that can also be the same incision for the C-section. You know what I mean? And so, since the plan here is having a baby, I'm not necessarily sure that it would make a difference for you to just have one incision. And you think you guys have one more embryo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So the other thing I want you to consider is, do you go ahead and do the surgery and then we wait? I normally tell my patients, when I used to do a mammectomy, I said, wait 3 months, and then I can get you pregnant. Why? Because every one of my patients just wants to get pregnant. That's the world of the OBGYN. They're doing mammectomies because people bleed too much, they have pain. So they're really, just wait 6 months or 12 months to get pregnant. Well, if I said that to my patients, they're hurting explode, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So also have this conversation, because I don't want the person who does your surgery to nonchalantly write on your chart that you should wait 12 months. Because if they write that, there's nothing I can do. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So what I want is that you have, hey, I really want to get pregnant as soon as I can, if that's what you want. And Dr. Escobar says that normally he wants at least 3 months. The other thing you may want to consider is, do we just keep what we have, the one embryo? Of course we're going to keep it. Or are you interested in making more embryos? To have more children. You can make more embryos before mammectomy, after the mammectomy.
So glad you brought these things up, because that's exactly what we've been talking about since the beta. I want to say like going into that next week, we've been talking about, okay, what should we do? And the first thing was that fibroid. And then we talked about the doing an egg retrieval and wondering, how long do we have to wait?
So if that's something you were considering, I would say let's start birth control pills today. Do you have some?
Yes, I do. The reason why we're ready to just get the ball rolling is because time. I'm going to be 37 in January. So, we're like, let's try to do it, let's try to get another egg retrieval in there. with the age I am now, and then definitely I want to do the fibroid surgery after the retrieval, because I can recover. I think I recovered within like 5 to 7 days. When I had my egg retrieval, I healed very nicely. And so I want to do that first, and then definitely talk to Dr. Livingston about removing the fibroid.
And frankly, I would do both at the same time, because by the time you get into Dr. Livingston's clinic, it's 3 to 6 weeks. And by the time you get scheduled for surgery, it's going to be a month after. Okay. So even if you started the process now, and frankly, I don't want to get pregnant and have this child and then come back at 38 or 39 to do another surgery.
Yeah.
So we're on the same page.
We're on the same page.
We're on the same page. That's exactly why we were like, no, we got to get this done now.
Yeah.
Any questions?
What do you think about like once the fibroid, all of that is removed, right? And we try again for a third transfer. What do you think about immune testing? Like, do you think that's also playing a part? Like maybe my immune could be attacking the embryo outside of the fibroid?
More likely no, because it's very rare.
Okay.
But I cannot tell you that's not a cause. And if you didn't have the thyroid, if you had nothing else, I think then maybe interesting in your case. I think the thyroid is more interesting, way more interesting, more concrete. I'm open to doing any test you want. And so the immune system, it does something different in pregnancy, but we don't understand it yet. But there are tests, and I've done those tests, and if you wanted to do that, we can totally do it. So I would rather do the testing after and not before, so there's no doubt of like, oh, we know if things would have changed, you know?
Right.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense.
Okay. Well,
awesome, you guys.
Sounds
well, I love you guys. You're an amazing couple. I'm sorry you've gone through all this, but we're gonna do it, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
We appreciate you, John. And it's just it gives us some kind of like relief to know that we're all thinking the same thing.
Stuff, yeah.
That we're on the same page with you. You're on the same page with us. Like that makes this easier to handle, so that we know what to do moving forward. So we're gonna go ahead and get on that.
I love to see your positivity. You're being very rational. I know it's taking a lot to get to be where you are.
Mm-hmm.
I know that a failed transfer is not a failed transfer. You feel as you lost the baby, whether that's true or not, that's how you feel.
Yep.
So I know it takes a lot to get here.
Yeah.
So kudos to you guys.
Yes. Sounds good.
Okay, you guys, big hug, okay? We'll see you later.
All right. Bye.
See you later.
Okay, bye-bye. See you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Wow.
I said it.
Wow.
I had a feeling.
That's correct. Like, we didn't have to say anything. He was covering
I
everything,
told you,
y'all.
because that's what he's been doing.
Wow.
There's a reason why he's one of the best in the business.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow. Well, that makes me feel good that we didn't have to fight our own doctor on what we wanted. Like, I don't know if y'all was able to hear him, but he pretty much answered everything for us. Like, we just kind of just reiterated, like, we on the same page with you, doc.
Mm-hmm.
We were thinking the same thing.
Yep.
So.
And it's just so crazy that we, even like down to the very thing we were going to talk about first. The first thing we were going to talk about was that fibroid.
Yeah.
And then we were going to talk about the retrieval, and then he just happens to bring both of those things up. And so that's why I was like smiling on the inside, trying to keep it together, because I'm like.
So yeah, guys, again, like we didn't come back and inform you, but after the failed transfer, we were kind of talking about what's going to be our next steps, and so he said it exactly how I said it. The elephant in the room is my fibroid. I really believe, we all believe, that's the main reason why I haven't been getting pregnant. So we're going to get the ball rolling on both another egg retrieval and getting that fibroid removed. So, that's pretty much what the conversation was, and that's going to be our next steps. So, more surgery, y'all. Surgery on surgery on surgery. But
Lord have mercy.
I'm determined, at this point, we're determined to do whatever it takes to get it done. So, that's our next steps, y'all. And course, y'all gonna be on the journey with us. I'm gonna take y'all with me, and we're gonna keep this train going. So that's where we are.
I feel great. Like, I no anxiety, no fear. Like, it's such a, like I was telling Dr. Escobar, it's such a relief. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, now we know that we're not crazy.
Yeah.
That even with the conversations we're having, even in the midst of our grief, we're being rational. We're thinking things through. We're not jumping to conclusions.
Yeah.
We're not, emotionally being driven emotionally to where we're making these decisions just because we're that desperate. It's not even that at this point. Really, we just want to make sure that before we go for that embryo, we wanted to give ourselves more of a chance because, again, we want more kids. We wanted more than just one child. So we're going to, obviously the retrieval was always in the future regardless of what happened. So we wanted to, we're just glad that Dr. Escobar is signing off on it, that, he's on our side about this. He really, really cares. He's showing us that we made the right decision by choosing him as our doctor.
Right.
And so, it just it gives us comfort and it gives us hope.
Yeah.
Because our hopes were crushed after this. Like, we were not in the best place. Both of us were going through it. More so,
I mean,
her than I was.
I'm
but
still coming out of it emotionally. Like, I'm not 100%, but I'm functioning enough to, like he was saying, make rational decisions. What can we do next? Like, it's important to be able to make those hard decisions, even in grief.
Yep.
So,
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go making this decision without her. So it came down to waiting for her to come out of the grief enough to where we could have these conversations. Because, at the end of the day, she's the one sacrificing her body, everything else. I'm not having to do that. But at the same time, I wanted to make sure that we were both on the same page about it so that we can move forward together.
We got a lot of stuff to do, y'all. So,
Got work to do.
But, step one is I got to start birth control today.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm about to call Conceive Fertility to see when I can get in for a baseline ultrasound.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the next step, y'all. We'll keep y'all posted and keep watching to see what happens.
See y'all later.
Hey, y'all. It's September 25th. Yeah, I think it's been about 2 weeks since we've had our consultation with Dr. Escobar. So I'm glad you guys was able to hear the audio because I watched the footage back to make sure you guys could hear the conversation. And I just wanted to come back and fill you in on what's been happening since the consultation. That same day, I did call Conceive Fertility to schedule to have a baseline ultrasound so that we can get the egg retrieval process started. And then I call my insurance and I find out that we only have about a quarter of a cycle left. And she pretty much explained to me that the quarter pretty much will only cover a embryo transfer, or I could put it towards an egg retrieval, but it will not cover the entire process of an egg retrieval. For the women that have to do the process, you know that a lot goes into an egg retrieval other than just the surgery. You have the option of doing ICSI, PGT testing, the freezing process. All of that goes into the egg retrieval process. So a quarter is not going to cover all of that, but we would have to come out of pocket $9,388. So, yeah, so it's looking like an egg retrieval is not going to happen anytime soon. We're going to have to kind of reconvene and figure that out. And then, of course, I was devastated. I was mad because I wanted to really get another egg retrieval done before this year was out. But since we only have a quarter left, we are going to save that for the third embryo transfer. As of right now, I am going to still have my fibroid surgery. I actually have a doctor's appointment tomorrow with Dr. O'Neill. More than likely, he's going to be the one to do the surgery. So I'm going to meet with him tomorrow, and he's pretty much going to give me a date. Now, I'm hoping that I can get in within a few weeks. because I would at least like to have the fibroid surgery done before the year is out, because we've already met our deductible. We don't have to worry about any high premiums. So I'm really hoping to have that surgery done before the year is over. And then once I have the fibroid surgery, I'm going to find out how long it's going to take me to recover. Overall, it's looking like I'm going to be 37 when I have our third embryo transfer, because we're already in September, and then you have the holidays approaching. A lot of offices are closed during the holidays. They take extensive weeks off, and my birthday is in January. So more than likely, I'm going to be 37 before we even can get to doing the third embryo transfer. This process is being long and drawn out than I would have liked, but that's where we are. I am irritated with my insurance because I do have a PCA, pretty much a coordinator, and nobody explained to us how those benefits work. Everything that we've done so far was taken away from the cycle. So all the IUIs, the 2 embryo transfers, the egg retrieval, all of that was taken away from our cycle. I didn't know that. I thought that we had 2 cycles of egg transfers, meaning you have the egg retrieval and then you have the embryo transfer. That's one cycle. And then the second cycle, you have a second egg retrieval and a second embryo transfer. Our benefits is for a lifetime. So pretty much once you use them, that's it. It doesn't start over each year like regular insurance would. And I was just like, I was dumbfounded. I was like, wow, really? So, once we run out of our benefits, we can never use it again. That's it. Didn't know that. So if we had known what we know now, we would have been a little bit more careful and a little bit more thorough on what we were using our benefits for. That's where we are as far as the insurance and what benefits we have left. So we just felt like it would be better to just focus on the fibroid healing up so that I can do this third and last embryo transfer. If that becomes successful, once we're ready for baby number 2, yes, I will be older, but we could use his benefits from his second job to do a second egg retrieval. Now, if everything is really going great after my fibroid is removed, who knows? We may actually be able to get pregnant naturally. So who knows? We may not even have to do an egg retrieval in the future. That's why we're going to revisit that at a later date. But right now, we just want to just focus on what we have to do right now and just go ahead and use that last benefit up so that we can be done with progeny. So that's where we are, guys, as far as the surgery and insurance and all of that. That's going to be our plan. In between time, I felt like I needed to kind of get out of the rut I was in. I was staying in the house day in, day out, not going anywhere, not talking to anybody. I was invited out, so I had lunch with a friend from church. And then I was invited to a friend's birthday party at the World Springs. That was my first time there, and I must say it was very, very beautiful. And it was packed. I'm told that it's better to go during the day because it's more private. You don't really have a lot of people in the pools, but Saturday was a vibe. We had a great time. We ordered drinks. We had great conversation. I'm really glad I went because I needed that. The ladies that were there, I kind of told them a little bit about my story, and they just encouraged me to just keep going, don't give up. They're going to keep me in their prayers. So it was very much needed, and I'm glad I did that.
Show courage and go against your fears. You're not going to regret the courage that you've shown. But if you cover in front of your fear, you're most likely going to regret not living life true to yourself. And I think we've all been there, where we've given up on ourselves before we even started. So don't be your own prison. Don't tell yourself that you can't, and don't let other people tell you what your life should look like.